Yo, testing 1 2 1 2. Testing 1 2 1 2. How you doing?
Wonderful, brother. How are you?
I am great, man. Appreciate the time, man.
Yeah, man. All my kids, my family, they all gone. So, your boy ain't too handy with the Zoom and stuff. So I'm over here trying to figure it out. But we in here, man. We in
I
here.
understand, man. No, totally appreciate your time, Mr. White. So yeah, man, we just pretty much kind of go off the same kind of conversation that we went on. I gave you some of the questions prior to. We'll go based on those. But if you feel like ad-libbing is something that I missed, please by all means and do so. And we'll be brief too. Like I said, I try to get it done within the hour.
Cool, man.
If you go long, please. We always enjoy that as well, man. So thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Welcome to Drug Dealers to Businessmen podcast. I'm your host, Duane Copefield. We are live in the city of Los Angeles, and we have a special guest with us today. This is somebody who I've been reading a lot about. A lot of my friends from Arizona had told me about the restaurant, and we want to introduce you to a restaurateur, entrepreneur, and visionary of Lolo's Chicken and Waffles, located in Vegas, Arizona, different parts of Arizona. So there's 3 locations in Arizona, and then you got one in Dallas as well, correct?
Correct.
All right, Mr. White, this is Larry White Jr. Thank you.
Right on. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely, man. So tell us a little bit about, first of all, tell us a little bit about Lolo's and just concept-wise. I know I talked about the locations, but what else can you add to that? And then we'll get into your story.
Yeah, well, Lolo's is it's family dining, it's comfort food. It's the chicken and waffles. You can't go wrong with fried chicken and waffles, sweet, savory. Um, it's just a great place, man. It's a great vibe, great food, great drinks, great atmosphere, great service. We do it all, man. And, it's the type of place, like when you have people come over to your home and hang out, it's the kind of place where you just feel at home when you're at Lolo's.
Indeed, man. So restaurants, man, a lot of homies are trying to come up with restaurants, but I think you guys, certain restaurants out here in LA, but definitely heard about Lolo's throughout the nation, not just in our neck of the woods. Like, is that something that you would encourage people to do? Because I know when we were talking offline, you were talking about the years where you actually had to grind, and that's an important part of it. Like, how serious is the grind in restaurant?
Man, the grind in restaurant is never ending. My mind is constantly going 24 hours a day. I have been diagnosed with insomnia. My mind, it just doesn't shut down.
Mm.
Because with the restaurant, you're always thinking this, that, did this happen, did that happen, did this properly get put away? You got catering jobs. Oh my goodness, what day is it? You just got so much going on, man. So, it's crazy that we're having this conversation. I'm sure we're gonna get more into it in detail, but it's almost like the grinds of the streets, man. And knowing what I know now, I wish I would have put that time and effort into starting something legit like a Lolo's Chicken and Waffles so much earlier, because they grind and got to get it by all means necessary. We take that same mentality to the business world. So that's why Lolo's is successful. That's why people are hearing about Lolo's all across the nation. I mean, we've gotten phone calls and emails from Europe, Dubai, England. Everybody want a Lolo's, and I wish I can get them out there like that. However, in the business sides, I think I lack in the infrastructure to grow the brand like I envision it. Sure. And it's also hard because you want that brand to be duplicated in every different market, no matter whether they're 10 miles apart or 10,000 miles apart. And you work so hard with something like a Lolo's, it's hard to just hand it off to just anybody.
No, I totally get it. And, studying business owners, I'm a business owner myself. When you franchise, and I was looking at your website and I saw that, certain locations, you guys like, nah, you can't franchise here. And I understand quality control is really important, and be able to duplicate the brand and have someone do it with the same passion that you deliver is a really tough one. Rather than just paying a fee or whatever. It's like, no, I need you to continue on with the brand. But let's go back a little bit, man. You talked about hustling, man. And we always want to, tie that into business, because the whole point of this podcast is to show people how to convert those street skills into millions. Hopefully we'll get you there. And so you touched on street hustling. You came, from obviously the streets. How did you one, get into the streets, and then two, what was the pivotal point to where you wanted to make that change?
Man, it's crazy. First of all, I'm gonna start off and let everybody know I came from a great family.
Okay, indeed.
From a great family. I came from a loving family, a God-fearing family, and I was brought up right. So no disrespect to my family of the path that I decided to take. But, we're young men, and a lot of young men deal with peer pressure. And I'm not going to say that I was dealing with peer pressure, but as a kid, and you out the eyes of your parents, some people drink, some people smoke. I never did none of them. Everybody has something that they're infatuated about.
Sure.
I've always been infatuated with cash. Always been infatuated with money. Always been infatuated with having more. Why did I go to the street life? Because when I was in, junior high, my daddy took me shopping. My daddy took me to JCPenney's. Matter of fact, he took me to JCPenney outlet. But I'm a young man, and Jordan is my favorite basketball player. And my daddy ain't about to spend no $100 on a pair of tennis shoes. My daddy used to tell me, man, I work every day and I ain't got no $100 shoes.
Right.
Then you better get these ponies and do it move. Yeah, the ponies, man. But as you get older, you get 7th and 8th grade, man, that temptation. I wanted them J's. I wanted them clothes. I wanted that cap.
Yep.
Well, my daddy wasn't giving me money like that. So I had to go out and find a way how to get it. So when I got to high school, man, come on, man. Is this man, come on, man. Don't make me act like Gucci Man on this motherfucker, man. But I like the path of Jeezy better.
I got you. I feel you. I feel you.
Yeah, man. When I got to high school, man, I had all them J's. And then, pops and moms, they ain't knowing.
Right.
They ain't know what's hip and what's hot. And man, like those shoes, where you get that money from? So to be honest with you, that's how I first got into the game, man. Just wanted to fly.
Yeah.
And
like
then,
most of us.
Like most of us, man, so I got turned on from my cousin. My cousin was, he was the man, and he gave me some instruction like, man, I'm gonna sell you this for 20. You cut it in half and go make 40.
Double up.
Okay. That 40 turned to 80, that 80 turned to 160. Before you know, I'm buying an 8-ball. Went from 8-ball to ounce. Okay, now we're buying, 4 ounces. Now we're buying quarter birds. Before you know it, we on a whole chicken. But it just kept duplicating and multiplying. 1 + 1 = 2. Shit, sign me up.
Basic.
Sign me up. And that's the same way I see it in business.
Yeah.
We started with 1 Lolo's. Okay. Got 2 Lolo's. Oh, okay. Now we got 3. Now we got 4. Now we got 5. Now we have 6.
Congratulations, brother.
You just got to you got to reinvest in yourself. It's all about multiplying. And that's business.
Yeah. No, I mean, you hit the nail on the head, and that's we try to tell cats the same thing, man. Apply that same hustle, same mentality. My path, a lot of brothers who are listening to this path started off the same way, double up, led to the zip, to led to the, but you know, it was one of the things that about me, and I knew I didn't want to do any dirt. And it was like, you know, once I started seeing kind of what the potential was, so that I did my spin around and started getting into something else. I just chose school to figure out what I wanted to do. How did you make that transition into a restaurant from the streets?
You know, so once again, coming from a good family, my family comes from a restaurant background.
Okay.
They own a soul food restaurant here in Phoenix, Arizona as well, called Mrs. White's Golden Rule Cafe.
Absolutely.
And they've been in business since 1964.
Ooh.
So since I was able to walk and talk, I always worked for my family, go to school until, you know, now I'm working for myself. So I grew up in a household that taught entrepreneurship, owning your own, being your own boss.
Yeah.
You know, I'm told all the time, my wife tell me, you could never work for nobody else because, you know, I mean, but that's my mentality. I just got a boss mentality. And, you know, I'm a go-getter, and I'm gonna get what I want. So, you know, in hustling, I took them chances to get them shoes that I wanted. I took the chances to the car I wanted, the sound system, the rims.
Yeah.
And, you know, you just wanted that luck as a young man. But as you get older, you know, boy, this interview right here was what, freaking 30 years ago.
Right.
I'm telling my age now. But man, I would have came up here dripped out, Versace that, little sunglasses. But you know, you realize the older you get, that material shit don't mean shit. It don't mean nothing. I'm just quiet, meek, subtle. You know, I don't want you to know what I'm wearing. I don't, you know, I'm not that logo guy walking around with G's and LVs all over.
Right.
But 30 years ago, that was me. That was my mindset. So with that being said, that's why I hustled. But today, this is why I hustle. I'm living comfortably. I ain't got to look behind my shoulder. I ain't got to slow down when I'm in my car. We was talking the other day. I told you I'll be on the street. Sometime I see the police. My wife would be like, there go the police right there. I see him. I'm just going about my business. I'm legal.
Business. Huh.
I'm legal. I'm legal now. I'm legal. I'm a registered voter. I'm a taxpayer.
All that.
I'm legit.
You
don't hide from the police no more.
You
know,
not at all.
Not at all. So
not at all.
You know, it's a wonderful life.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I never ever will regret where I come from, in the hood I come from, because the hood in the background in my history made me who I am today.
Absolutely. Nah, and the thing about it is too, and I'm glad you pointed that out too. You like make that a point. Like, people always make the assumption you come from the hood that your family was messed up.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, nah, man, I had both my parents. My brother's a pilot. He was an engineer. You like, it wasn't bad. I just went to the left. You know, but it wasn't anything that they did at all. You know what I'm saying? But I'm glad that, and it seems like to you always, even though we wouldn't did what we did, we always kept that connection and stayed in pocket with our family, so that when we did decide to make that transition, we had somebody to fall back on, because you can't do it alone. I don't care what nobody says.
No, you know, it's cooking came second nature to me. And as a kid and growing up, you young, so you're not realizing your family, your grandma, your daddy, they teaching you a gift. So it's almost like you can walk and you don't realize how much you took walking for granted until you have an accident and now you can no longer walk. The bottom line is, I always been a great cook. I've been cooking since I was 5. I go up in the kitchen, turn the stove on, electric stove at that.
Hello.
And, you know, fry some bacon, make some sandwiches. I used to, My daddy used to bring, stuff for the summer, sodas and high seas and the little yellow boxes and hot dogs and Twinkies. He would bring that home just so we can have snacks while they at work.
Yeah.
And I'll cook up all that shit, get it on the wagon. I'll be all around the neighborhood. I'm selling hot dogs, Twinkies, sodas. Oh, if you get a combo and get all three, I give you a deal. My daddy come home and be like, man, where all the hot dogs and all the Twinkies at? I'm in the bedroom, I'm counting.
Count bread.
It's been in my blood. I've been doing this since day one. So with that being said, my family made sure that they put the mindset in me, control your own destiny, be your own boss. And so I hope that answered your question.
No, and then some. I mean, and that's, and I think that kind of segues to, one of my next questions about, how do you take, what you've known? Because this is a lot of times people just think they can just jump in the restaurant game. Oh, I'm gonna just get me a skillet or I'm gonna just go do this. And it's like, you said, man, I've been putting together combos since I was 5, homie. So, but just, advise homies on like how you guys are taking a soulful, it's an upskill. You got go to loloschickenandwaffles.com. You guys peep game, man. This brother took it to another level. But how do you advise brothers who don't have any restaurant experience how to get in that game?
Get a job. Learn the craft. If you want a McDonald's, you call Mr. McDonald up and say, I'd like to open up a McDonald's franchise. McDonald's is going to tell you, go get a job in a McDonald's for a year. Show me proof that you've been working here for a year as an employee. And then we'll talk to you about potentially being a franchisee. Right? So I grew up in the restaurant business. So it came second nature. I'm a great cook. I've been seeing it all my life. To those that say they want to get into the restaurant, you need to live it, you need to breathe it, and you need to get so far deep into it to see if this is something that you really love. I'm passionate about food. I love food. I love to taste. I love to create. I love to mix. I love to experiment. And if you don't feel like I feel, restaurant business isn't for you. We can take this conversation and say, not just restaurant, but you need to find something that you're passionate about. You need to find something that you love, and you need to give it your undivided attention. Oh, this interview is going to get deep because I'm going to talk to you about giving something your undivided attention and the reward that comes afterwards. So, young hustlers, if you're thinking about the food game, man, you got to get in trenches with it, man. And by all means necessary, you got to stick to your guns. You got to be consistent. You got to be dedicated. And man, that got to be your everything. I mean, I got a joke here in my house. I mean, my wife is my second wife, and she'll tell you that. My first wife is my restaurants. I'm married to them. Sometimes I miss special things, because you got to work, you got to make stuff happen. Yeah, we got people in place, but sometimes, I'm that glue to make sure it all goes smooth.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying? And yeah, we get some off days, we get some downtime, but for the most part, man, I'm just so passionate about it. I want to be involved by all means because I love what I do. People be offering them, man, why are you still off in here? Why are you still working? Because I love it. You got to love this, man, if you're going to get into this game, because restaurant work is hard work.
Yeah. We talked about that briefly, man. And you had, when we had the previous conversation, you were talking about the early years. Like right now, people see you, they like, man, everything is cool. Everything is laid out. We up in Scottsdale chilling. How did it start though? Talk to us, because I always like to hear the origin story, man. The origin stories for superheroes, and I consider us all superheroes, man. But we all gotta have our origin stories. Talk to me about yours.
Man, this is how it all started, man. Believe it or not, Roscoe's. I'm paying homage. Roscoe's, that man up there in LA.
Mm-hmm.
Love me some Roscoe's when I'm in Cali, man.
Indeed.
So back in the day, we talking 90s, you know, we was out there hustling. And what are we doing? We hustling for a better life.
Mm-hmm.
So at that time, we was hustling and we kept putting all our money, me and my homeboys, into this independent record label. And that independent record label was called Full Life Records.
Okay.
We put out 3 albums. We did work with the likes of E40, the late Roger Troutman, Christopher Williams, Angela Winbush. I mean, I can go on and on, man. We did some stuff. We had beats by DJ Battlecat, Swiss Beats. We did stuff with Cool G Rap. I was in the studio with Cool G Rap when he met his wife Superhead. And we heard the story on Superhead, and I was like, shit, I had no idea. You know what I'm saying? But shit. But you know, so you know, your boy been around.
Indeed.
So what we used to do, we used to go to LA sometime to to mingle, to get people on our album and record. We did some stuff in Sound Castle in Glendale, California, and we used to get our stuff mastered at Bernie Grumman, so I'm entrenched in that shit.
Indeed.
But that shit was expensive, man. So we was trying to be the next Death Row Records, the next Cash Money, No Limit. And man, I gave that 11 years of my life. Hustling, putting money into that, trying to grow it. Man, we probably spent so much money trying to get that record label off the ground, bro. But it just didn't happen. However, late night sessions in California, we always led us to Roscoe's Chicken and Waffles afterwards. So we started loving the chicken and waffles and can't wait till the session is over so we can get back to the chicken and waffles. Well, anyway, when we come back to Arizona, we had a recording studio here too. And we'll go to the studio and all the cats be looking around and chilling. They be like, man, some chicken and waffles would be nice right about now. So, man, me being the person that I am, like, all right. So I started doing chicken and waffles at the crib. Man, y'all come back to my house. So they all come back to my house on the south side on 7th Avenue.
Oh, no, the south side.
Yeah, man. So I was making chicken and waffles. I went and got a waffle baker from Kmart. And I'll fry us some chicken in a cast iron skillet on an electric grill. If any chefs and cooks is out there looking at that. So when I say electric grill, man, you got to be talented to cook on an electric grill, man. So anyway, yeah, man. So I would make chicken and waffles for the homies, and 4 turned to 8, 8 turned to 16, 16 turned to 32, 32 turned to 64. And I'm like, wait, hold on, wait a minute. I mean, shit, this is supposed to be a little something. Man, you weren't even in the studio. What you doing? No, I heard the chicken and waffles is off the chain. I came to check out the chicken. And what you got to do with this, right? So I'm like, oh, hell no, I'm about to shut this shit down. Y'all about to start paying.
Yeah.
So, that's what I said I was going to do. So anyway, we continue hustling and doing our thing. And in 1997, I caught a case. Got caught up. So man, now I'm arrested. I'm on TV. Just got caught up in a bad situation, man. You know how it is.
Yeah.
And my bail is $250,000. And shit, I ain't got $250,000, but I got that old ass El Camino out there. That motherfucker clean the motherfucker sitting on D's, sitting on them Daytons. Then I got that old ass 6'4" over there. That motherfucker candy paint is cold. But I got all these clothes and all these Jordans over here. I got this jewelry, but nigga didn't have no bread. I had a whole bunch of nonsense. But now I need to sit there. I ain't got that type of bail money. So man, I sit in jail for like 11 weeks till my bail finally got reduced. They came and got me. But while I was in there, I prayed, and I prayed every day. And I said, Lord Jesus, please get me out of this. I don't want to be here. I didn't like it. Nigga, some niggas love going in and out the system, not me. I wasn't built for that. That wasn't the direction I wanted for my life.
Right.
So I had a serious conversation with God. Now y'all got to listen to me carefully, because I told God, get me out of this. I promise I will never touch the white again. I didn't say nothing about the green, but I ain't gonna touch that white. Lord, get me out of this. Anyway, end up getting probation. And when I was out, I got out like in August of 97. And I went to my grandmother and my father because, you know, I've been working there on the side and doing my hustle. And, you know, you just fall in love with all the nice things. You just want more. And, you know, just being an employee, you know, there's a ceiling. Well, I wanted to break that ceiling for what I had for my life.
Yeah.
So I asked them for the opportunity to showcase Lolo's Chicken and Waffles out of their restaurant. During that time, they were only open 7:30 to 7:30 Monday through Friday. Like I started off, my dad is a big family guy, so he left weekends open so he can do stuff with his children.
Yeah, good
My
stuff.
sisters now, because I'm a young 20-something and, you know, can't tell me shit. So they gave me the opportunity, but they didn't just give me the opportunity just because I was family. They gave me the opportunity because they saw my work ethic and how I took care of their place. When I was at Mrs. White's, I cleaned it and took care of it like it was my own.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And nothing goes without notice. So with that being said, my grandma just made one rule to me. She said, baby, I'll let you use my kitchen to do the chicken and waffles, but only family in the kitchen. You have to be the only cook, unless it's one of your cousins or your sisters or somebody. Only family in my kitchen. That's grandma's rules. So I have to abide by it. So after she said that, my grandma walked away laughing. Chicken and waffles, this boy crazy. Who in the hell want chicken and waffles? My grandma was like, they want fried chicken, collard greens, black-eyed peas, and candy yam. Yes, we do, Grandma. We love that. But this little young crowd, this 20-something crowd, it's chicken and waffles. Just check it out, Grandma. So anyway, my grandma had this wonderful hot cake recipe. So I took her hot cake recipe. She blessed me with it. Of course, they taught me how to fry chicken. It all came second nature. The first 24 years of my life, I had no idea that I was in school, you know.
Yeah.
And then I put that hot cake recipe on the waffle batter, on the waffle iron, came up, delicious, fluffy waffles, crispy fried chicken. And my Aunt Portia was like, Larry, it's good, but this is grandma's recipe. What you gonna do to make it yours? I was like, damn, Annie, I didn't think about that, but it's good. Yeah, it's good, but don't you want to make your own footprint? I said, Annie, what do you suggest I do? Man, I ain't gonna lie to you, man. When I come up with recipes, when I have a question about something that ain't working right and the consistency is not there, I call my grandma, I call my mama, I call my auntie. I'm successful because of all the women in my life.
Say that again. Hello.
Anyway, Annie said, why don't you put some vanilla and some cinnamon and some nutmeg in there and give it like a little twist? All right, Annie. So I take that back. She said cinnamon and nutmeg. I did that. That shit was bomb. So I ran with that for, man, probably like the first 5 years.
Yeah.
And then some family members like, you ever, you know, the nutmeg give it a little holiday taste. You know, it's like almost nutmeg remind you of like October, November, December type of the year. And then I was like, yeah, I don't want to taste that nutmeg all the time. So I think about 5 years later, I pulled the nutmeg out and then I added vanilla. Now people talking about, man, I can eat these waffles by themselves. I don't even need syrup. They think it's a dessert. Man, we got people that come in and ask for our waffles, man, and they put ice cream on it. And, you know, people like, damn, why he just give out the secret ingredient? Man, it's so much to go around. I can give y'all all kind of gems and all kind of secrets, But the thing is, do you got the sauce?
Hmm.
I can give you the recipe, but do you have the sauce? You dig what I'm saying?
I can
So
dig it.
we got the cinnamon, we got the vanilla in there, we got the crunchy, crispy, savory fried chicken. We make our own seasoning salt. My grandmother and my father taught me how to make that seasoning salt.
Nice.
And I took that base and then I added to make it my own, just like I did with the waffle mix. And here we are, man. Here we are. Lolo's Chicken and Waffles. So that's in the beginning how we got started. But I also said I was gonna touch on this. I told you I was gonna come back to it.
Yep.
So I started in 1997 doing it out of my grandmother's place, weekends only. I got this little building, about 800 square feet. And, it was a restaurant in there, but it's kind of crazy because the county don't talk to the city don't talk to the state. So it was a restaurant with some corporations, and some corporations, it wasn't a restaurant. They was talking about restaurant going out of business. And I was like, man, I can afford that. Let me get that. And what's important, I started very, very humbly with something that I can afford. I didn't just go off in there talking about, man, give me this big old space and this and this and that. Man, we started in a shack. It was 800 square feet. We was only able to seat 20 people at a time. It was $400 a month. I was like, I can afford that.
Yeah.
Got that building in 2000 and set out to try to open up Lolo's first freestanding brick and mortar.
Yeah.
We're trying to find out it was zoned residential. And that's why it evidently got closed down. But once again, I'm young and I'm naive and I'm dumb. And, I fell for the okie doke. But what I didn't do was stop pursuing what I wanted to accomplish. So with that being said, I turned this house that was residential, I had it rezoned and turned it to commercial.
Nice.
Now we have to widen doors and do this and do that. Now the whole time I'm working at Mrs. White's doing the chicken and waffles on the weekend. I'm working by day as a waiter at Mrs. White's. I'm on probation. And it took me 2 years. It took me 2 years. So we finally opened Lolo's first freestanding in October 2002. And, business is slow. Once I made that transition, like we over here, I'm thinking that my following would instantly just gravitate. And this is important, consistency. And being somewhere where people expect you to be. That business didn't immediately follow me. They was like, oh shit, I guess he stopped. So it took a minute to drum up that business, let them know, look, man, we over here now. Lolo's Chicken and Waffles, at that time I was closed on Monday, Tuesday. So here you go. I go from 2 days a week to 5 days a week. So man, that first year was so freaking rough, bro. It was rough, bro. It was really, really rough, man. The homies would come through and, you find out who your real friends are. Niggas think they're going to be eating for free. No, man, this is a business, homie. You got to pay for that. Oh, man, you tripping. And then before you know it, they stop coming through.
Yeah.
Then homies come through and they be like, shit, man, we're going to play dominoes right here. Now they in there playing dominoes and shit. And I'm guilty because I played a couple of games with them, but shit. Then it started turning out to be the spot where niggas just wanted to hang out.
Yeah.
And, my wife was like, my girlfriend at the time, we wasn't married yet, but she was like, man, what are you doing? You didn't build a fucking clubhouse for niggas to hang out at? Okay, then you stay there all day. Then you come home. Then you go to the recording studio. You stay there all night. Then you come home, get 2-3 hours of sleep. Then you jump up and go back to Mrs. White's during the day. You all over the place. She was like, you need to focus. You need to focus on one thing. And you need to get at one thing, your undivided attention. You need to let all these other distractions go. So after she told me that, man, I thought about it. And I want to say it was early. It was early 2003. I told the homies, I'm like, man, I'm done. Huh? I'm done. I can't keep putting into this music thing. I'm tapped out. I'm broke and I'm tapped out. And then like even on the final stages, I was doing my part by just being there and doing what needs to be done, because since my case, I wasn't making no major bread to be a financial contributor towards the cause.
Sure.
So I had to make it up in sweat equity. And that sweat equity, man, had me out all night. So I'm tired, can't feel my legs. She can't even freaking think. So I told them I was done. I told grandma, I said, man, thank you for everything, but I need to get Lolo's my undivided attention in order for me to get it off the ground. So I quit Mrs. White's during the day. And Mrs. White's during the day was great because I was a server and I was averaging like $200 a day in tips. I know a lot of people from hustler to businessman laughing, but when that's what you got, man, that's what you got. And I couldn't let that go because Lolo's just wasn't bringing it in. So, man, I started making business cards, and I go out and flyer cars and any large body of cars like a grocery store, movie theater, a sporting event, a concert, churches. I would get ran off property. Hey, man, stop flying the cars, man. This is litter. And man, people would call the restaurant. Hey, you got somebody out here flying cars. If you don't stop, I'm calling the police. And it was me actually out there doing it. And they'll call me from the restaurant, and I'd be like, y'all should get ready. I hit about 1,000 cars today. We're gonna get busy. So I'll get back to the restaurant, man. About 10 people come down there, man. What the fuck? But I didn't give up. I went right back and kept doing it. Kept doing it. And then I kept doing it to the point where they was like, hurry up, get back to the restaurant. We busy, we need help. So now I went back to the restaurant. I'm out there marketing and advertising myself. So now I got to go back to the restaurant, put my apron on and get in the kitchen, get to cooking because I got all these people off in here. So during the days, it was really, really slow during like Monday through Thursday because I had made my fame to claim at night. But now I'm trying to be an all-day business.
Yeah.
Now I'm an early bird, so might as well start getting it early. So, man, I'm buying chicken going bad, it's spoiling. Now we got to wrap it in double black bags and get rid of it because it's stinking and shit. And one time, man, just before the chicken was going bad, it looked like it was gonna be another week like that. I told my dude in the back, I said, man, cook up everything in the house. And he looked at me like I was crazy. I said, homie, cook up everything in the house. All right, man, you asked for it. He started making dinners, and I started boxing up dinners. And I'm putting them in these big ass boxes that are to-go boxes used to come in. So I grabbed like 40 dinners, and I go out to the airport, and I hand dinners out to taxi cab drivers, sky caps, whoever wanted a dinner, and give them a card. Man, this is where it came from. Then I come back, he makes some more dinners, and I grab dinners. I go to all the hotels around. I go to the bellhops. I go to the people at the front desk, the hostess, people checking down. Here, lunch is on me today. I go to the Civic Center. I see people walking around. A lot of people said no. A lot of people said no, thank you. But when they open that box, they be like, ooh, where this come from? So what do we do in the dope game? Hey, here you go. Take that. Here go my number. They call him.
Call you.
I need some more of that.
Yeah.
That's what happened with Lolo's. Instead of taking these losses, I cooked up everything and gave shit away for free. That brought them on in. They tasted it. They wanted more. They came back.
Damn, that's crazy, man. That's grind, dog. I mean, that story from you out there passing out flyers to going to get for the chicken goes bad. What? Man, I mean, and the thing about it, I just read some literature talking about people don't understand giving away food or giving away samples while Costco gives away samples. That stuff is powerful. Wow, man. That is amazing, man. I'm still geeking off of that because that was a hell of a hustler move.
Thanks, man.
That's how you do it. So you started off there, early years, made the transition, got out on your own. How do you get to Scottsdale? Because I know Phoenix, man. I know Scottsdale. How do you take it from the South Side to Scottsdale? How do you make that transition?
Man, crazy story. And I hope this person see this story one day. Somebody tag him and give it to him. Man, believe it or not, I got to Scottsdale because of Shaquille O'Neal. In Arizona, we was calling him the Big Cactus. So now Lolo's is balling. Well, we still in the one little bitty house. And then I wanted to expand that. And I went down to the city, and the city was like, well, we need drawings, we need this and this and that, architecture stuff. And man, they talking about, I gotta make some drawings for 10, 15,000 just so I can add an extra room. So anyway, I went down to Home Depot, got a couple of essays. They came over there, they hooked that shit up for me real quick over the weekend. Then paid them, gave them 6-pack of beer. On Monday morning, now we got 20 extra seats because we enclosed the patio. So now I went from 20 to 40, still one location. People from the city would come in and be like, something's different about this place. You got a little bigger. I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about. They'd be like, all right, we ain't gonna say nothing. You better be happy your chicken good. But anyway, Shaquille used to come to Lolo's, and Amari Stoudemire, Sean Marion, and all those guys.
Yeah.
Johnson, back when the Suns was, man, it was cold back then.
I remember.
But they would come, and Shaq came in, and he was like, man, this chicken too damn good, man. Shaq like chicken thighs. He want 3, 4 thighs and double macaroni and cheese. And he's just a machine. But he'd be like, man, I'm tired of, ducking and worried about hitting my head on the ceiling and ceiling fan. You need to get a bigger store with higher ceilings. We're going to get you a place in Scottsdale. So I'm like, what does that mean? Like, you trying to go into business with me, trying to help? No, man, I'm just going to help you. I'm going to help you get a new place in Scottsdale. So, these people coming in eating, and last thing I do is harass my guests. So, every time he came in, he said it, not me. I didn't ask. So after about the 6th or 7th time, I'm like, all right, man, well, I know you probably busy. You in and out in town with the Suns, y'all playing. I'm going to start looking for a place. So I started looking for a place, and this is in 2009. And mind you, 2009, we was in like a recession.
Yeah.
And, so I started looking around for a place, and then I hooked up with this one realtor, a brother, and he turned me on to a place that had went out of business on Scottsdale Road in Thomas. It was in a strip mall. It was like an old Kyoto bowl, old Chinese teriyaki rice place. And we went off in there, and I was like, yeah, these got high ceilings. Shaq ain't gonna have to worry about hitting his head. And I was like, so I went back to Shaq, and I was like, Shaq, I found the place. I think it's perfect. Do you got time to come by and see it? So we scheduled an appointment to come back to see the property. And I didn't tell the realtor who I was bringing. And I was like, man, I got a special friend coming. So this whole tight. So the plan was for us to meet there at 4 p.m. We waited till 5. Shaq didn't come. I called him. He didn't answer. And I was like, man, go on and show me the place. So we go inside. He shows me around. And now we're going from, for the original Lolo's was 800. When we added that extra room, we got to about 1,000 square feet. So now we're about to go from 1,000 square feet to like 3,300 square feet with a walk-in cooler. And I was like, oh man, we about to gig over here. I was like, man, I'll take it. Yeah. So I mentioned a recession. I got the place for $17 a square foot, and which is unheard of on Scottsdale Road, if anybody is familiar with Scottsdale. And my realtor was like, Larry, man, you need to jump on this, and you should do a 10-year lease. And I was like, man, I ain't gonna do no 10-year lease. This right here, what I'm about to tell y'all, all y'all young hustlers and people trying to do something, vision where you want to go in life. Think about and put that in your mindset, because the mind is powerful. I told that realtor, I said, man, in 5 years, that restaurant across the street, it's going to go out of business. That land between that restaurant and McDonald's will still be for sale. It was for sale, and it's still for sale to this very day.
Mm.
That restaurant went out of business. I told him, I said, man, I'm gonna buy both of them. I'm gonna knock it down, and I'm gonna build a big, beautiful restaurant on Scottsdale Road 5 years from today.
Mm.
Man, my dude looked at me like, man, nigga, please.
Mm.
I did exactly just that.
Hello.
I bought some dirt on Scottsdale Road. I'm probably one of the only African Americans that own dirt on Scottsdale Road.
Mm.
Because ain't too many people selling on Scottsdale Road.
No.
They're all leasing all day long because it's prime real estate in Arizona.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, and it's also not about what you know, it's who you know. And the restaurant business have led me to meet a lot of awesome people and build awesome relationships. So off a catering job, my guy built us the brand new Lolos, but I'm jumping ahead of myself. I'm
it's all good.
Let me back up. So to answer your question, how we got on Scottsdale Road, Shaquille gave me the push that I didn't even know was in me.
Mm.
And, you know, to be honest with you, he didn't know what my financial situation was. And I still pressed forward to it. And I ain't gonna lie, I thought Shaq was gonna bless me with a check. I thought Shaq was gonna be like, man, congratulations. You hear all the great things he did when he was with the Lakers in LA, of giving security guards cars and blessing people with homes. He's just a big, generous guy.
Yeah.
But no animosity whatsoever. This dude pushed me to another level that it wasn't even in my mindset.
Yeah.
But when I saw the opportunity, I envisioned the direction I wanted to go 5 years prior, and that was in 2009. And in 2014, we built a brand new, beautiful $2 million building from the ground up. We own.
Congratulations.
So that's how we landed in Scottsdale. But, you know, another really sad part of the story, it's sad and good because, you know, I'm human. But when we got Scottsdale 1 in 2009, and we go from the little, you know, shack in the hood, and we go over to Scottsdale. And when we got to Scottsdale, I mean, we like, shit, high ceilings. Let's put a couple of TVs up. So we put some TVs up. We got an AC unit, and it's beautiful.
Yeah.
So, you know, I go, once we got that store open, my wife, you know, she has a bachelor's and master's degree, and, you know, she was working in the medical field, and she was doing extremely well for herself.
Sure.
And I had told her, I'm like, hey, I need somebody at Scottsdale that I can trust. I need you to quit your job and go manage Lolo Scottsdale. And she looked at me like, you want me to what? But she stepped out on faith and she did that.
Wow.
However, while she was in Scottsdale, I was in Phoenix because, you know me, I'm hood, nigga. I want to be hood.
Yeah.
So I go to the original location and I'm still working as usual. And you go touch tables. Hey, how you doing? How you visit? Man, people hurt me, so they don't know how bad they hurt me until you hear what I'm about to say or read it in my book. Man, I got a great book that's gonna go step by step, all the details. But anyway,
oh yeah,
they was like, man, you went over to Scottsdale, built that big, beautiful stove, got TVs all up in it. But here we are, we in the hood, we've been supporting you since day one. And we over here with a fucking swamp cooler. Bro, that right there knocked the wind out of me, bro. And I ain't gonna lie to you, that was never my intention.
Yeah.
Because in 2000, I started renting the little house.
Yeah.
I was all on one big parcel of land. In 2002 is when I opened the little bitty house. And in this little bitty house that started at 800 square feet, and then by 2004, we got it up to about 1,000 square feet. Well, we operated in that little house from 2002 to 2012. We did 10 years in that little bitty house.
Yeah.
And In 2004, that whole property went into foreclosure. The person I'm paying rent to, he ain't paying his rent.
Right.
So now I'm about to lose my building. I'm scrambling, and I ended up buying that whole property. And I met with numerous architects, engineers, designers, and everybody's coming here. Oh, let us just tear it down and build you a new restaurant from the ground up. But then when you do that, now I'm kind of godfathered in. But then with the new laws, now my restaurant got to be smaller because I got so many setbacks for the new permits and
Exactly.
the new stuff that's going on with today.
Yeah.
And I was like, no, this building is beautiful. Look at these bricks, these wood rafters, and the concrete floors. And it had some like old ceiling tiles off in there from the 20s. It was just a real beautiful building with a lot of character.
Sure.
And what I wanted to do, I wanted to preserve that beauty. And I didn't want to tear it down. I wanted to rehab the building.
Yeah.
And once again, what do we do? Okay, well, if 1 + 1 = 2 and we doing good with the 1, why not open up another Lolo's so you can generate more capital?
Sure.
So you can go back to 1 and make it how you envision it and how you saw it from all along.
Yeah.
So I bought that property in 2004, and I would just walk through it. Like, yeah, this is gonna be my dining room. This is gonna be my VIP room. This is gonna be my kitchen. Oh, I'm gonna have customer restroom over there, employee prep. We're gonna do this, we're gonna do that. We're gonna have a big garage door for storage coming in. And I did just that. It just took me 8 years to do it.
Yeah.
Man, I saw something not too long ago, and it said something like, just because it took you X amount of time to get here doesn't mean that you're late. God has a plan, and God's plan is the right plan, because during those 8 years, I learned so much that when we built the new Lolo's Phoenix, and I broke down and I got some AC in the little bitty house. I went to get money. And I was foolish in the beginning, because out in my head, it was always like, I'm gonna tear this little piece, this little house down. Why invest money in an AC unit? Because I'm gonna tear it down anyway.
Yeah.
So I ended up getting an AC unit because those summers was crazy unbearable. Man, we got people outside waiting to get in Lolo's Phoenix, 2-3 hours. Then, we had Super Bowl come through, All-Star Weekend come through, and we was just off the chain, man. So once we got Lolo's Scottsdale cracking, we started generating that revenue, and we brought it back to the hood. And I'm still on the same corner, Central and Yuma Street, where I built a beautiful 6,000 square foot restaurant.
Nice.
With the same brick that I talked about, the
Yep.
wood raptors, and we stained the concrete floor. We even preserved some of those antique ceiling tiles. We took them off, sandblasted them, pressure washed them, and then put them back up in parts of our restaurant as a decor. And the building that we're in was built in the 1920s. And there's actually some old paint fade off to the side where you can see where milk was like 19 cents a gallon.
Nice.
Eggs was like 5 cents a dozen.
Crazy.
Old pricing like that. So I'm glad I preserved the building in its original beauty. And man, that's what Lolo's is all about, man. No shortcuts. Taking your time and doing it right.
Yeah. Damn, man. That's amazing story and amazing inspiration for anybody who's even considering go in one. You know what I'm saying? Go experience it, check it out, see what you can learn from the, because you could the detail, that's your restaurateur coming out. I mean, outside of the hustler, that's in you, and it's clear that you pay attention to the details, and you're not afraid to go to people and ask for advice.
Exactly.
Speaking of advice, do you have any words of wisdom for anybody like the homies, trying to make that transition? I mean, I know you got your book, so I know that
it's all good. It's all good. The book still gonna be good. Um, Consistency.
Okay.
Consistency is key. Um, first give honor to God and for giving you the mindset and the capability and the wisdom and the know-how, because I'm not a college graduate. I didn't go to college. Um, I didn't go to culinary art school.
Hmm.
God blessed me to come into a family and blessed me to have the mindset to pay attention what's going on and see what's happening. And, cooking just came second nature. And back when I was growing up and going to high school, the last thing I wanted to do was be a cook. Um, I ran from it. I hated summers working at the cafe. Um, you know, I want to be fly, man. I want to be clean. I want to smell good.
Yeah.
Restaurant work, man, it's hard work, man. You don't be smelling, the best standing over a stove. You know what I mean? And find something that you love, man. Be dedicated. Give it 110% of your time. Focus and zoom in on that craft.
Hmm.
Don't be all over the place. I was all over the place, and when I was all over the place, I wasn't getting nowhere.
Hmm.
Once I got focused, we've been blessed, man. We've been blessed. So a lot of mistakes that I have learned along the way, I have learned from my mistakes, and I try not to make the same mistakes twice. And that's why we have branched out and did other new brands, such as Monroe's Hot Chicken, that is doing extremely well now. And our new breakfast and healthy food concept is called Brunch and Sip,
Hmm.
where we do brunch all day, every day. We got some beautiful healthy salads. The world is going towards this gluten-free, keto,
Sure.
vegan stuff. And once again, man, that's me being passionate about food and taking a risk on all food. Yes, I still love comfort food, but us as Blacks and African Americans, we also got to have some balance.
Mm-hmm.
With that being said, so going over to Brunch and Sip, get you some oatmeal, some quinoa, and some whole oats and stuff, and drinking with a little almond milk, a little coconut milk. You know what I'm saying? Great salads and seared salads, but
Healthy options.
healthy options.
Yeah.
But the bottom line, man, to answer your question, I'm still doing what I love.
Hmm.
Find something that you love and be consistent with it, man. Just
Hmm.
stick.
Mm-hmm.
It'll pay off.
Indeed, indeed, definitely. That Jules, man, you are a gem, man. I know your book is coming. I know you writing your book, man. You guys stay tuned for that too. So hopefully we can get Mr. White back on when his book drops, so we can talk specifically about that.
Thank you, man.
But are there any other books that have helped you get to where you've read in the past? Any suggestions, anything like that?
You know, when I was I never been a reader.
Okay.
But when I did get locked up, I mean, this is years ago, so we talking like 23 years ago. Um, all you can do is read. So I picked up some John Grisham books,
Okay.
like The Partner, and some other books around that time. Those are really good books. But since being a restaurateur, um, my vehicle is my office.
Okay.
And I'm always in my vehicle going from location to location when I'm going out of state or going to, Vegas, Dallas, or whatever. And I became a big fan of audiobooks.
Oh, love them.
So some of my favorite audiobooks, 48 Laws of Power by Robert Greene,
Indeed.
um, Onward by Charles Schwartz from Starbucks.
Nice.
Um, you know, um, I got a Danny Green book. Danny Green is the founder of Shake Shack.
Nice.
Um,
Great story too.
yeah, man, great story. It's like a miracle.
Yeah.
And you know, um, you know, other books that probably don't have nothing to do with business, but I really, really enjoyed the rise and the fall of Big Meech,
Oh yeah.
EMF family. That was
Oh
really
yeah.
good. I mean, I even listened to that probably about 3 times.
Oh yeah.
Weebay did a real good job narrating it. And then another great book that I read when I was going away, The Coldest Winter Ever.
Oh,
Uh,
classic.
man, they need to make a movie about that, bro.
Classic.
Yeah, that Coldest Winter Ever was good.
Yeah, Sister Soldier. Yeah,
It's a great
classic.
book. But
Yeah,
Who Knocked the Cheese Off My Cracker? Some other hospitality books.
nice.
I got a Ritz Carlton book about the level of service. Um, you know,
That's a gem.
so I kind of read books that pertains to my lifestyle.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying? I got the Charles Barkley books. I got your Draymond, not Draymond, but old boy from Shark Tank.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Damon. I know you're talking about.
Yeah.
Yep, Damon.
So got his book as well. The Rick Ross book was really good. I really
Nice.
enjoyed that. So I'm urban, man. I'm hip hop. I love fashion. I love food, and I love to learn every day.
Mm,
Um, you'll never, ever, 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 ever hear me say that I know everything.
yeah,
So I'm always learning to be a better person tomorrow
indeed.
than I am today. So yeah, man, that's my
That's dope.
that's my life.
Oh
I
man.
didn't get really, really all deep to and in tune and shit. But the book gonna be grimy, dog. The book gonna be grimy. Some people are like, damn, bro, you really want to put all this out there? And part of the hesitation of putting it out there, I need to just go on and do it. But I've been working on it for a while, and shit, it could have been released a year ago. But this crazy lifestyle I live, I keep adding chapters, like
Yeah,
adding
yeah,
chapters, like because every life is so interesting.
yeah,
And I guess that's just room for another book.
yeah, yeah. No, we're excited, man. Let us know, man, because we cracked the surface, but I'm pretty sure there's a lot more going on and a lot more anecdotes that you'd like to add in there too. And think about it, is a lot of people are afraid of transparency. And I ain't saying you're afraid of transparency, but just because we're in business but one of the things I've learned is that our stories, no matter how insignificant we think they are, people resonate with a man and it changes their lives. And you know what I'm saying? And people think they can't change the world, but I'm like, just one person at a time, dog.
Yeah.
One person at a time.
Okay.
And you've done that today, man. You don't know how many people are going to hear this and get inspired to start their own version of whatever it is. And when you said that one thing, man, I think that that's such a key point. Don't be all over the place, a jack of all trades and master of none. Focus on something, drill down, and put your all into it and watch it turn into, Lolo's Chicken and Waffles, perhaps.
Man, plant them seeds, man. Plant them seeds so you can eat, so you can bear the fruit. Years to come.
Indeed. Indeed. Any parting words of wisdom, Mr. White?
Man, thank you for the support. Thank you for the love. For all of you that have dined with Lolo's Chicken and Waffles over the years in the past, even if you've been there once, you from out of town, thank you. We couldn't do this without you. And I just thank everybody for giving me a second chance on life. And with that being said, Lolo's Chicken and Waffles is an employer of giving people second chances.
Mm,
So man, if you in the system, man, and you trying to come home and get on your feet and turn your life around, man, it's a whole bunch of us over here. I got homeboys over here that, some real serious cats in the street back in the day.
hmm.
And they had Lolos and, they in management positions and they doing stuff that they never thought that they could and would that day, but also it's a fine line when hiring friends and family.
Yeah.
You gotta make sure you draw that line and that they understand there's business and then there's friendship and the two don't mix.
Yeah.
Business is business and you gotta hold cats accountable.
Yeah.
Because it's your name out there on that building.
Hmm.
And, consistency is key. Don't
Yeah.
forget about that. No, if you're gonna start this business and you put on the doors that you open from 9 to 9, you need to be there 9 to 9.
Hmm.
You can't be like, oh man, it's slow. I cut out at 7 o'clock and wasn't nobody coming. You can't do that because let that one guest come and your hour say you should be open and you ain't open, man, that'll hurt you.
Hmm.
That'll hurt you, man. So
Mm.
even you got to do what you don't like to do, and you got to fall in love with what you don't like.
Hmm.
You
Hmm.
know, and
Yeah,
but we was consistent, we was dedicated. 23 years later, we still here.
indeed. Thriving. Vegas, 3 in Arizona, so Phoenix, Gilbert, or
Scottsdale,
Scottsdale. Are you in Gilbert?
Gilbert. Yep, we're in Gilbert as well. Uh,
Okay.
we also
Vegas.
got the licensing joint off in the airport, Sky Harbor. But
Very nice.
during what's going on right now with COVID, the Sky Harbor location is closed
Sure.
until further notice. So technically we got 6 Lolos.
Okay.
We got 2 Monroe's hot chicken, and we got 1 Brunch and Sip. So yeah, man, we had 9 stores deep.
Awesome, man. So make sure you guys tap in when you hit the southwestern region of the United States and in the South as well. Make sure you guys check out Lolo's. Mr. White, it has been a pure pleasure. You are a gem to this community. You're a gem to all the entrepreneurs out there and future restaurateurs. Drug Leaders to Businessmen, thank you for your time, sir. We
Thank you.
appreciate you.
Thank you.
God bless.
God bless.
All right.